Time and time and time again, the talking heads at the big networks just never seem to amaze me. I mean, each week they are on the bandwagon of a new team that they just claim and want to crown as the front runner to win the Super Bowl and be the best team in the NFL. As we always say on Just Saying, slow down. We're at the halfway mark. We're almost halfway there, and there's still a lot of football to play. I mean, you still have a lot of 2 and 3 team races in each division. And let's face it, for a lot of teams, it's going to come down to the division. And of course, some teams with wild cards. You have a few teams that are clearly ready to go night night if they already have not gone night night. But let's look at some of the divisions where it's a close race. You go over to the AFC East. You got Buffalo as the top dog, 4-0 in the division, coming off of a big win this past week against Seattle. But you still get a tight race with the up and coming Miami Dolphins, who are only 1-2 in the division, but they're 5-3 overall, and they still have some games to play with each other. And the Patriots is just trying to hold on for dear life because they are 2-1 in the division, but they're 3-5 overall. But needless to say, they still have a chance, and to try to take the division away from one of these teams. But doubt it happens. And clearly, the Jets are the only team in that division that are clearly going night night. You go over to the AFC North. I know you have the 8-0 Pittsburgh Steelers with the best record in all of the NFL. And while they are 2-0 in that division, you still have the Baltimore Ravens, who they've beaten once, but they still have to play again. But Baltimore is still 6-2, but they're also 2-1 in that division. And you got the lonely Browns, who are 5-3, surprisingly, but they're 2-2 the division. I think they're a good candidate to get some of that sleep medicine in a couple more weeks. They'll be out of it, and they'll be joining the Bengals, who I'm not going to knock because of the rookie quarterback they have. But those two are the candidates to go night-night in the division, and clearly can be a two-team race between Baltimore and the undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers. You go over to the NFC South. Once again, looks like a two-man race. You had the Tennessee Titans sitting up top at 2-0 in the division, 6-2 overall. But you got the Colts just trying to sneak on in there, 5-3, and they're only 0-1 in the division, so they've only played one game. And I want to say that these teams face off clearly very, very real soon. And you got the Texans and the Jaguars, who are completely out of their minds and going to sleep, and they've gone night-night. Their playoff chances are clearly over. You go over to the AFC West now, it's a little bit different. I know everybody sees at top the Kansas City Chiefs because they're 8-1, but they're 2-1 in the division. And where's that division loss come to? The 2-0 division, Las Vegas Raiders. That's right, Las Vegas. They're 2-0 in that division, and they have already beaten Kansas City. So the worst they could do is split with them, and they're 5-3 overall. So there's a chance for them to compete with the Raiders at the top of that division. We just have to see how it goes. With the Broncos and the Chargers clearly in the Bears getting ready to go night-night, playoff chances pretty much in doubt and gone. You go over to the NFC side where, this is where it just makes all my comparisons come true and everybody has a chance. And clearly it's just the NFC East where I'm talking about, where it's the worst division in football. And surprisingly, each of these four teams has a chance to win the division. Now, I think Philly's sitting at top at 3-4-1. They're 2-1 in the division, and they're getting a lot of their players back healthy. So I think they could kind of run away with this if they stay healthy. And I just don't see what Dallas and the Giants are going to strike. By the Washington football team, surprisingly, they're 2-6, but they're playing better each week. But it's clearly any man's race in this division with a clear edge going to Philly. And I can't call neither one of these teams as a candidate that's already gone night-night because they're terrible. Over in the NFC North title race, you got the Green Bay Packers sitting at 6-2 overall, but they're 2-1 in the division because they just lost one to the Minnesota Vikings a couple of weeks ago, who is 3-5, but they're 2-1 in the division. And don't forget about the Chicago Bears sitting at 5-4. They only played one division game. They're 1-0 in the division. And the clear candidate that doesn't have a chance to make the playoffs in that division is more than likely the Lions sitting at 0-3 in that division and 3-5 overall. You go over to the NFC South. This race is a lot closer than what you think, not necessarily who you think it would be with the Bucs and the Saints, because the Saints just swept Tampa Bay in that division. Now, where I see it getting close at, surprisingly, I know the Atlanta Falcons are 3-6, but they're 1-1 in the division after splitting with the Panthers because they still have to play the Bucs twice. They still play the Saints twice. They're improving each week, and you never know. You just never know. But I don't see a clear candidate that's going night-night in that division. I mean, the Panthers are 3-6, but they're 1-3 in that division, so their chances are getting a little slimmer than none, and they may be getting a little sleepy, getting ready to go night-night. Then you go over to the NFC West. Good battle here with the Seattle Seahawks sitting on top right now, 6-2. at 1-1 in the division because the Arizona Cardinals, who is right behind them at 5-3, are 2-0 in the division. You got a good divisional battle between the Seahawks and the Rams this weekend because the Rams are 5-3. They're 0-1, only playing one division game thus far. So that division in the NFC West is clearly wide open, with the only sleepy candidate is the 49ers, even though they're 4-5, they're 1-2 in the division. And with all the injuries, their season looks like it's one of the complete dust. So needless to say, it's a week-to-week league. And with all these injuries and COVID, everything can change every week. It's the NFL. Almost there, halfway home. Just saying.